So this drawing assignment is a favorite among my students. It's very simple. I go to the library, the public library, and they always have magazines that they discard or they give me. And so I hand out my magazines to students, and then they pick out an image that they would like to draw. And then what they do is they tear out their image and they trim it or they square it. In this case, I have an image of the actor Dustin Hoffman. And then I ask them to cut the image in half using a cutter so that the image is then cut in half. And then I have them glue down one side of the image. And then on the other, it's simply I put down a piece of tape. In this case, I use painter's masking tape because it peels off very easily. So the idea here is that the student will then draw the right side of the face. And they'll simply look at the different detail here and use an ebony or ivory pencil, a number 4 pencil. And so what is good about this is in giving a demonstration, which is the same thing what I'm doing here, is I can show students how they can easily draw the second half of the image. And I teach them to use hatching, cross-hatching, stippling, and blending for their shading, which I'll demonstrate right here. So the first thing I do is I explain to students how if they look directly over the image, they can see certain points that they can easily draw points to connect lines. So for instance, the mouth and the edge of the mouth in Dustin Hoffman, we know it ends right here. So all we have to do is put a dot. We know this, we're trying to find this line right in here. So all we have to do is put a series of dots as we move the image back and forth like so. And this is of course how they do animation, the old school animation that Walt Disney used to do. So now I put the simple series of dots right there, and then we have the crease in his mouth, and then of course we have the upper lip, which I'll put in right here as we move the image back and forth. The nostril we know falls right in here. It's pretty much it's pretty much opaque and dark at this point, but I can follow the line of the nostril right around here, thusly. So I give the demonstration in terms of rather than just doing it freehand, which I can easily do. Most students can't draw freehand. So this is the way they can be very accurate. I'm going to find this line right here, just put a series of dots, and then just connect the dots. Very simple. Now the same goes with the eye, so they need to find the corners of the eye. So I have them simply look at the corners, move the image up and down, like so, till they can see exactly where that dot would fall, the corner would fall. And then they can find these 4 points from where the cornea meets the lower eyelid, which would be here, and here, and here, and here. And then you simply put them in, like so. Now, in terms of hatching, cross-hatching, and stippling, what I like to do is instruct the students to create a really light contour cavity. So this would be this shaded area here behind the nose. So you don't want to make it too dark, but it just helps to then guide the pencil. And then we have hatch lines. And then of course this is going to be darker in here, so we have some crosshatch lines. And then when we get down here to the nose, it's going to be very dark. So we're going to go with our hatch lines, and then we'll go with our crosshatch lines. Now the way that what I like to do is pull out a dollar bill and do a close-up image of the head of George Washington so that the students can see a classic example of hatch lines, which are revealed on all of American bills, along with crosshatch lines and stippling. So once the student has got all the points in and all the contour lines, and then they've added all the shading, you simply remove that part of the photo and you're done. For the rest of the assignment, I'm going to go ahead and finish, but I'll put this on the rest of this lesson on a time lapse so you can see how it can be finished in just a matter of seconds.